to disappear. I dare you to disappear. I dare you to disappear.
Police now claim they've seen CCTV footage. He showed Elaine being approached by the driver of a late model Toyota.
Once upon a time, things made sense. My family made sense. And things seemed glued together and in their place. But then one night in July, everything changed.
August, what the hell are you doing? Let's go!
Where would you walk through to get this on your feet?
I was just at the park.
You look like a little lamb that's wandered in from the coast.
Out of all the specks of dust in the universe, we'd found each other.
Well, Tyler, hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you? How's it going?
I'm doing good. Thanks for joining me today to talk about Spaghetti Junction. Why don't you set up the film for us?
So
The best you can.
The best I can. Okay.
Yeah, I saw it last night and it's not easy to explain, is it?
Definitely not. Definitely not. So the film centers around August, of course. And it is more or less a coming of age story about a girl who's just going through a lot at home. And she meets this being who, of course, I am. She meets the being and they essentially, and it's kind of up to the viewer's interpretation and see if like she's actually escaping their reality or if this actual being, this alien force who's come to Earth to save the Earth and technically the galaxy from this spreading virus, as you'd call it, to essentially save the world. Yeah, to put it in a nutshell, but there's so much more elements and really interesting facets that come into the story. But yeah.
And your character of the being, he's pretty much in a unique situation, isn't he? He's literally in a storm drain, is where he's on a mission. Exactly.
So he crash lands essentially in Spaghetti Junction and sets up, I guess, shelter and this sewage drain where August runs across him. And that's kind of just how the whole thing starts.
I think Kirby just joined us. Kirby, are you going to join us?
I can. Let me see here.
Get that video on.
Yeah.
There he is.
I was just texting to make sure I was supposed to be here. I have a schedule of things, but I wasn't.
I'm glad you're here. Just talking with your star here about Spaghetti Junction. Thanks for joining us.
Indeed. Yeah, happy to be here.
Yeah, and well, can you tell us, Kirby, about casting the character of August, Kate Hughes?
Yeah, so Kate, for me, it was important to cast an actual amputee. And some of the producers and people I was speaking with at the beginning of trying to get this film off the ground, the idea was, could we cast maybe a named actor and paint her leg out in post? But for me, that would sort of defeat the purpose of making the film because I wanted to have the authentic portrayal, and but then unfortunately that set a pretty big mountain for me to climb as far as casting goes, because then I had to find the perfect August, who also had one leg, so it was it's difficult enough to find a lead of your film, but then also throwing that into the mix. So I reached out to, you know, amputee clinics, children's hospitals, disabled camps, trying to find the perfect August. And eventually it took a year basically, but she was one of the last submissions I got. And then there she was. And she pretty much brought tears to my eyes the moment I saw her audition tape.
Yeah, she's a brave actress, because there's an honesty to her performance, allowing you and the audience to see everything, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And-
But yeah, she definitely dug deep into her character as well. And, you know, there's a nice energy between Tyler and August, or, you know, the traveler in August. Yeah, that was very fortunate to see the way that their energies kind of meshed and they were able to create this kind of romantic situation.
And Tyler, you know, August is having dreams, or are they visions?
I'm going to say visions, per the being. You know, a lot of people might say dreams. Kate might say dreams. August might say dreams, but I'd say visions. I'd say the being as mystical, as powerful as, you know, just from this otherworldly construct of where he came, he was more or less doing that instead of, I guess, that just being imagination.
And Kirby, you know, August, what's her relationship with her father? He seems like he's down on his luck. He's trying to do the right thing, but he's dealing with the tragedy and memories of his wife, you know, so he just seems like he's been beaten down.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, it's almost, it's like there's the two daughters. One has a physical, you know, difference after this, you know, tragic car accident that took the mother out of their life. August shows she's got a leg missing, but with Shiny, her older sister, she also has pain, but it's not as visual. You know, it's more probably psychological pains. But the dad is, you know, trying to hold it together and hold the family down and put food on the table and provide as much as he can as a single father who also has some issues with addiction and things that he's using probably as an escape. But I think he's doing his best, you know, and he means well. But he's probably showing more attention to August because of the fact that she has this physical representation of the car accident that happened, where Shiny probably needs just as much attention. But it's easier to address someone who has this physical aspect. So I think, you know, but in a way, it's almost like August becomes a caretaker to her dad, you know, because she sees him sort of unraveling and she's able to step in and try to help in a way. But then in the end, they kind of come back to each other. He saves her as much as she saves him. And they kind of have this, you know, union
August,
in the end.
August is his favorite, you can tell.
Well, you know, there's even a line in there where he says, like, he sees a lot of himself in Shiny, and where August reminds him more of his wife, who would have passed away in this car accident. So, you know, you know.
He had that line, yeah, you look like your mother, or you're acting like your mother. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And Tyler, your character, did you wear those prosthetic things in your eyes? That looked painful.
No, I did not actually. That was
Trickery.
all post, all post. Yeah, I mean, me and Kirby, we actually talked about contacts, the first time around, and I, to my knowledge, I don't think I was opposed to the idea, but I think it would have been, because some of the sets, you know, where I was, there was a lot of fire going on. It could have got a little tricky. So, you know, I think post for that.
Without giving anything away, you know, the ending is just kind of, did it feel kind of silly doing that scene? You know, when in the final product, you know, it was, you know, worthy and powerful of the story, but I can only imagine like shooting that scene, some of those scenes going, really, Kirby, is this going to work?
No.
Yeah.
And me and Kirby, we talked recently. And my first time actually watching the film, I told him that a lot of times shooting it, I just felt like it was nothing else for me to do but to just do it. Like the character, what I was wearing, like everything, it was just the trust factor. So. And
Kirby, what was that song that I kept hearing throughout the film? You know, way down yonder in a hollow tree. I mean, I heard it at the bus stop, or hear it in the background. It kept being repeated. What was the meaning of that? And how can I get it? It was pretty cool.
Yeah. So the artist is called Chubby Parker, and it's a song called King Kong Kitchi Kitchi Kaimia. And it was recorded in like 1910. So it's an old like hillbilly song, and it's been on certain compilations with old American music that have come out over the years. But I've always loved that song and found some kind of comfort in it. And the lyrics are about, you know, a frog goes a courting. It's about like this battle over a frog trying to marry this other creature. but I think you know, the way we start to she's always listening to it in her headphones as this kind of escape from the world. And you know, you look at the character of Antonio in his car where he's blasting like drum and bass, crazy techno stuff, and that's very brash. And then in her world, she wants to escape with this kind of old folky song, and that's her quiet, sort of more imaginative world she likes to go into. And then I think it's, you know, it's sort of shown later that in the car accident, when this all happened, through a flashback, you hear that it's playing in the car when it happened. So she listens to the music of the car accident throughout the film, and it's sort of an escape, but it's also maybe a reminder of what happened. And yeah.
It reminds me of that Teddy Bear Parade song, you know, Don't Go in the Woods Today. You know, it's kind of another kind of folk song that reminds me of that. Well, you guys are screening this at Austin Film Festival. Tyler, you're ready to see this with an audience, and you know, it's got to be nerve-wracking, but also all your hard work is ready to show it to an audience.
That's right.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's Saturday night at 10 p.m., October 23rd, 10 p.m. at the Galaxy Highland Theater. So yeah, I mean, for me, it's been, you know, 4 years from the time when the script first went to paper, you know, and then to this moment right now as we talk today. So it's been a 4-year journey that, you know, Saturday night goes up on the screen for the first time in front of an audience.
Oh,
so
man.
It's pretty exciting. Yeah.
This thing for a filmmaker. Well, congratulations, guys, and all your hard work. It's right there on screen, and good luck at the festival. And thank you for joining me today. And let's talk again soon with your next project.
Sounds fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you.